Jambo Jambo to all our Swahili audience and our friends in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Since gaining independence on June 30th, 1960, the country of DR Congo has been in a constant state of instability and chaos. Now Congo is endowed with many of God's gifts. It is home to the second largest tropical rainforest in the world, the Congo Basin, the first being the Amazon rainforest. Secondly, Congo is endowed with a lot of mineral wealth like coltan, cobalt, gold, tin and uranium. Also energy resources like oil and coal. But Congo also faces many challenges like armed conflict between ethnic militia and central forces of Kinshasa, systemic corruption, unaccountable exploitation and mismanagement of its mineral resources, disease and epidemics like HIV/AIDS, Ebola, COVID-19, etc. Also, Congo faces natural calamities like floods and drought and also volcanic eruptions. Mount Congo is one of the most deadliest and active volcanoes in the world. It was active as recently as 2018. It is situated next to Goma. You'll be hearing this name a lot, Goma. Goma is the capital city of North Kivu province, which is situated on the eastern border of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Recently, forces of the Congo River Alliance or AFC, of which the March 23 group or the M23 is one of the largest components. They marched into North Kivu and moved south to South Kivu to its capital Bukavu. Today we are joined once again by Ambassador Shoman Ray. Welcome, sir.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Asante sana to all our viewers also. Ambassador Ray has served for many years in East Africa and is very knowledgeable about the area. He will be enlightening us about the situation there. As I just told you, conflict has escalated in the region. Now North Kivu, South Kivu, along with Katanga and Kasai provinces of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo is the heartland of the mineral wealth of the region. So escalation of conflict in that region has the potential to destabilize not only East Africa but also Central Africa and Western Africa. A couple of days ago, on April 25th, the foreign ministers of DR Congo and Rwanda had met in Washington. A point to be mentioned here is that the M23 group is allegedly being supported by Rwanda. The European Union and the United Nations, amongst others, have alleged and made this accusation. So, on April 25th, the foreign ministers of DR Congo and Rwanda had met at the Department of State in Washington and have signed an agreement to jot down a peace treaty in the early days of next month, which is May. Sir, could you just shed some light on this, please?
Well, before the Congolese and Congolese means DR Congolese Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Foreign Minister of Rwanda met in Washington. The background was made in or prepared in Qatar, Doha. First, the two leaders of on March 18, I suppose, President Paul Kagame of Rwanda and President Felix Tshisekedi of Congo met in Doha. This is the first time. In fact, they were eluding, refusing to meet each other for a couple of months. Last December, Angola, which was mediating between these two sides, withdrew from it, getting totally frustrated. Okay. So Doha brought the two leaders. Qatar Prime Minister took the initiative, brought them together, and they agreed to carry on the negotiations between the two sides further. As a result, M23 delegations and Congolese government representatives met twice in Doha. Following that, the two foreign ministers met in Washington, D.C. and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, he was present at the meeting. Though initially it was not very pleasant because the two sides, two foreign ministers, the bellicose two foreign ministers of the bellicose two countries did not shake hands.
Right.
Okay. So,
Which is actually very normal usually to at such meetings.
which is normal, yes. They signed Declaration of Principles. Okay, this is the actual word. Declaration of Principles. It has got three parts, three main parts, if you say. So, if you can read that declaration, it has got three parts. The first part is they mutually acknowledge each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Okay. Because this was critical to any negotiations between the two countries. For a long time, they were violating the sovereignty of others. Okay. The second part is that they committed to a pathway to resolve their disputes by peaceful means grounded in diplomacy and negotiations rather than hostile forces or rhetorics. What has been continuing for the last 3-4 years is that CKD announced in our state, made statements in Bukavu twice before the election, December 23 elections.
That he will march on to Kigali.
No, he will march on to Kigali, but before that he said that he will declare war against Rwanda. He compared Paul Kagame with Hitler. He even said that Paul Kagame will die as Hitler died in a bunker.
My God.
Okay.
Yeah, that's quite harsh.
It's quite harsh. So this is the reason they said that they committed to a pathway to resolve their disputes by peaceful means. Okay. Through diplomacy and negotiations. There would not be any rhetorics. This is the second part. And third part, which is very important or crucial for any negotiations between the peace negotiations between the two countries, is that the two sides also said they would establish a joint security coordination mechanism. Mind you, joint security coordination mechanism. It is not only Kinshasa or Kigali. It is a joint security coordination mechanism to counter non-state
Armed groups. Is there any third-party independent overwatch on this agreement?
I don't, because this is only a declaration of principles, which they said, as you rightly said, very quickly that they have. President Trump has suggested that there should be a deadline, and very close deadline. The deadline is the May 2. That in that detailed agreement, I would expect that US will be overseeing the whole activities, between the two countries, how it is proceeding, things like that.
So this is a welcome sort of next move in this situation at the moment.
I would say so. I would say so because we have seen that President Trump is is a peacemaking, in a peacemaking mode.
Right.
Okay, he's a peace builder. He's not a destroyer. We have seen how he's trying in Russia-Ukraine war.
Right.
He has also, exerted his own influence in the initial ceasefire agreements between Israel and Gaza.
Right.
Okay, so he has also taken initiative to do it, and given his track record of building peace, I would suggest that yes, there is very good possibility of getting the peace deal done.
Right, and right now we have former president of DR Congo, Mr. Joseph Kabila, back in town, and he had recently visited the eastern part, Goma, as we mentioned earlier. How do you see the dynamics unfolding with Mr. Joseph Kabila back in town, with his legacy of ruling DR Congo for 18 years? Before him, his father was the president. So he naturally will have a lot of support still, I would expect, in DR Congo. So how do you see things unfolding? Do you see him having any real impact as things move forward, or is he just not that important anymore?
I consider Joseph Kabila is being considered as a negative force in the whole process.
I see.
Because Uganda has already said that they will not support
Kabila.
Kabila.
Right. The chief of army of Uganda tweeted.
He has also tweeted so. With Rwanda, Rwanda has got a long history of animosity with him.
Right.
And paradoxically, he has entered. He said that he will enter from the east, and I do not know what he will do. It's a very complicated scenario. He has been given support or protection by the M23
Right.
initially. Now he's in the eastern part. I do not know exactly where he is in the eastern. But M23, the rebel group M23, was created or
Right.
formed because of his.
Right. I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you if you could give us briefly a history of M23 and Mr.
No,
Joseph Kabila.
this is what I am saying. M23 was born because out of a frustration
Right.
when the Kinshasa government under the leadership of under presidency of Joseph Kabila signed an agreement with the National Congress for the Defense of People,
CNDP.
CNDP. It is an organization of the Tutsis
Yeah.
who were forced to leave the country, Rwanda, during the genocide.
Right.
And a large number of Tutsis were also, because the artificial demarcation after the colonial powers gave them independence in the 60s. Large number of ethnic Tutsis, Chinya Rwanda speaking people were staying there. Okay. Now they had signed an agreement with their organization, CNDP, signed an agreement with President Kabila's government that their grievances will be redressed, that their armed rebels
Will be
will
amalgamated.
be absorbed within the national army. They have got a police force, local police force. Local police force will be absorbed in the national police force, and they will be deployed in the eastern part of DRC so that they don't feel alienated. But what Joseph Kabila did is that he has not taken any action to redress their grievances. He posted them in far off places in the west of the country.
And DR Congo is a huge
It's
country.
a huge country. Distance between Say Kinshasa and eastern part is around 2000 kilometers. Okay, so they are alien there. They don't speak the Bantu language which is spoken there. They are mainly Chinyarwanda speaking. Chinyarwanda is the language of Rwanda. So they speak Chinyarwanda. So then the ministry to redress their grievances was never formed, never established. So they are left like that. So under these circumstances, M23, there is March 23, the date on which, March 23, 2009, they have signed that agreement. So the rebel group of M23 was formed in 2012 by these groups, these disgruntled rebels. Okay, and they revolted in 2013. Okay, so though they were decisively defeated, mainly by the UN security forces, but they do not believe Kabila. So
Right.
Kabila has got another alternative, is that he may join the so-called group, he with his supporters,
The AFC.
AFC,
Right.
FCC, I think.
The Congo River Alliance.
No, he supported his original party, FCC, which is in banned. He has got large support,
Right,
number of
right.
supporters.
They've been recently banned by
Recently
Kinshasa.
banned by the government.
Because it is alleged that they support M23,
That's true.
which is a sort of really strange thing.
This is very strange thing. So he is not believed, truly believed. They will not depend.
So neither
Or-
Kinshasa trusts him nor M23 Rwanda trusts him.
No, he himself is saying is, I am the mediator and I have got a large number of followers.
He wants
Yes, he had followers in the military establishment, judiciary, but those people have gone long back, isn't it?
Yeah. He wants to be a part of the action right now with the.
He wants.
Yeah.
He wants.
Yeah.
But he is neither.
Does he enjoy support from regional powers like Museveni and Paul
I told-
Kagame and
I told you,
Bujumbura?
I told you that Uganda has already said no.
Right, right.
Okay. Rwanda, he has got a very bad track history
Right,
of relations.
right.
Bujumbura also, at that time, when I was there, High Commissioner to Rwanda, during that period when they revolted in 2013, President Nkurunziza, he also doesn't have good relation with them because he was also part of it. So I would say that he will not get regional support, and once Qatar and the US have found out the leaders, the legal leaders of two countries to negotiate a peace, I do not think that Joseph Kabila will be allowed any space. In fact, as I said during the at the beginning of the statement of this point, that Joseph Kabila is being treated as a negative force
Right.
in that area, in the whole region, not only in this country, but outside the country as well.
Right. So we are seeing a lot of political weight being thrown to East Africa along with the Horn of Africa with Mr. Donald Trump's second administration. As we discussed in the previous episode, Mr. Donald Trump is escalating a lot of military intervention in the Horn of Africa and now in Eastern Africa. Do you see is this with relation to the Red Sea and the Houthis, or why Africa and why Horn of Africa and Eastern Africa?
You see, you have got two parts. One, Horn of Africa, Horn of Africa, Houthis, the Gulf of Aden. That area has to be secured for commercial
Maritime trade.
We have discussed
In
in
the
our
previous
previous podcast. Okay. So, US is interested to bring some sort of stability, permanent stability, and Houthi is a negative force, so they have to be defeated at all cost. As Hamas and Hezbollah has been, they have not been crushed out totally, but their strength has been diminished to a great extent.
Right.
Okay, they are potential threat, but not of any imminent threat to the region. Okay.
Anymore.
Anymore, I would not say anymore. In future, you never know.
Right. It's like a game of cricket.
No, I would say that Hamas and Hezbollah was destroyed before also.
Right.
Okay. But they again grew in strength. So you never know what will happen with those militant groups. So Horn of Africa is a different, is a part of a same game, but it has got two parts. Now East of Africa, if Eastern Africa is stabilized, Eastern Africa is destabilized mainly because of the whole Great Lakes region. Whole Great Lakes region is destabilized by the unstable condition in
DR Congo.
Eastern DR Congo.
And South Sudan is not part of East Africa.
South Sudan is also part of East Africa.
So these two are the main conflict zones in East Africa.
South Sudan, Sudan is more or less divided. Sudan has been divided into practically two sections. One eastern part is controlled by the by the army,
right.
and western part, Darfur region and all, is controlled by the RSF, Rapid Support Force. So it is more or less divided like Libya.
Right.
Okay, eastern and western part. One side is Haftar and the other side is
So you're
Sarraj.
predicting Sudan is going the Libya way?
Sudan is going on Libya way, almost in the Libyan way. South Sudan, we can have a different episode on Sudan, South Sudan. South Sudan also is a conflict between two clans.
Right.
Between the two clans. So it's not between one rebel group. There is no rebel group as such. It's an ethnic conflict between the two conflicts. Dinkar and Nubair. Okay. It is not a rebellion.
Right.
Not a rebellion.
Inter-ethnic
It's an ethnic conflict. So there's a different issues involved in that.
Right.
But here, it's a conflict between the rebel forces, and sometimes you can call militant also, because they are supported by the other country, allegedly supported by the other countries, mercenaries as well. Both the sides are using mercenaries.
Right.
Okay. So this is a different situation.
There have been reports of foreign fighters fighting in DR Congo.
Yeah, they are supporting. They are supporting the FARDC, which is the government forces of Kinshasa.
Yeah. And the FDLR are Hutu fighters.
FDLR are Hutu fighters.
In DR Congo. So
they
they are
are the
anti-Kigali.
They are anti-Kigali. They are the Hutu militias. Interhamwe they call. They are the Hutu militia who fled DR Congo after Rwandan Patriotic Force Front RPF got control of the government in Kigali in 1994.
And that was headed by Mr. Paul Kagame.
That was led by Paul Kagame.
Led by Paul Kagame.
Okay, that was led by Paul Kagame. So, FDLR, FRDC, they have joined hand.
Right.
M23, now M23 have become stronger. You see, M23 was almost silent.
Could you tell us a little bit about the leader of the Congo River Alliance a little bit? And he has a relationship with Joseph Kabila and...
You see that Corneille Nangaa, he was made the chief of Independent National
Election.
Election Commission in 2015, if I can remember well,
In Kinshasa.
in Kinshasa. It is he,
In 2015.
2015.
Okay.
And Joseph Kabila was ruling the country since his father's death. It's from 2001.
And at this time, Mr. Felix Tshisekedi is also in the scene.
No, Felix Tshisekedi's father.
His father was also in the political
His father was an opposition leader during Mobutu's period,
game. Oh, I see.
and he was arrested.
Right.
And after his family was under house arrest, or something like that.
Tshisekedi's family.
Tshisekedi's senior family. So he was a political activist, and Mobutu allowed senior Tshisekedi to send his wife and son abroad. So they migrated to Belgium,
Right.
Brussels.
Right.
From there he was, networking among the diaspora people.
Right.
So he was politically active,
Right.
but he didn't have any base within DR Congo. So when he came, Joseph Kabila was initially for the first term for 5 years, according to DR Congo's constitution.
So for our views, the presidentship in Congo is in DR Congo is for 5 years.
Five
It's a
years.
5-year term.
5-year terms. And you can have it twice. There is 5-5, 10 years.
Oh, so that's another issue right now with Tshisekedi.
5-5, 10 years. Okay. Now, after the second term, he amended the constitution and became president for the third term.
Kabila.
Joseph Kabila.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So practically from 2001 to 2006, first term.
Yeah.
Second term 2006 to 2011.
11.
Second term.
Second term.
He amended the constitution to become the third term president.
Okay.
21 to 2017.
Okay.
And in 2017, in fact from 2015-16, and that is the reason he brought his own yes man, Corneli Nanga.
Nanga. Okay.
He is basically he's an economist.
Mr.
Okay,
Nanga.
Mr. Nanga.
Okay.
He's an economist.
Now he's a militia leader.
He's a militia leader. He brought him. He's a yes man.
Okay.
He made him the chief of Independent National Election Commission.
Right.
Do his dirty game.
Right.
So he knew that his opponent, one Mr. Fayulu, he was leading the opinion poll and all. And he has got good supporters there. By that time, Joseph Kabila was losing support among the common people. There is no development, nothing.
Right.
Fighting going on, rebel, because more than 100 rebel groups. M23 was defeated, yes. They captured Guma and all these things, they have been removed from there. However, there are more than 100 rebel groups operating in the eastern DR Congo. They are, as you rightly mentioned at the beginning of the episode, that they are illegally mining the minerals.
Right.
So, and selling in black market,
Right.
getting arms
Right.
and fighting, enriching themselves.
All the various groups.
All the
have-
various groups. So under Joseph Kabila, Joseph Kabila became very unpopular in his own country. So he foresaw that. So what he did was that he requested Tshisekedi to fight the election, and he will have his support. In fact, in the election held in November 2018, Tshisekedi was third. His position was third. First was Fayulu. Okay. But Tshisekedi and Kabila, it's mainly Kabila's idea. Kabila made a secret agreement with Tshisekedi, saying that he will be declared president. It took a couple of months, more than 2 months, 2.5 months to declare the result. Counting, recounting, manipulating these, that. So the secret deal was signed to eliminate Fayulu, and he was declared president with a clear understanding that Sikedi will allow Joseph Kabila in the next election to run as a president, and he will have his support. But Sikedi, within very short time, he made his own popular base. Okay, he put his own people in army, in judiciary, in intelligence, and slowly he gathered power. He consolidated his power. Okay, and he refused to support or give any space to Joseph Kabila. Joseph Kabila became frustrated and he went to Johannesburg to study or to do a PhD. I do not know his qualification. To do a PhD, to write a thesis paper at the University of Johannesburg. In the meantime, what happened? Sikedi removed Nanga, Colonel Nanga, from Shivesi. That was in 2021. Nanga comes from Oili province in northeast Congo, and he is a non-Bantu speaker. Bantu is the largest tribe there in DR Congo. So he is a non-Bantu. So he allied himself with the M23 and other groups. So he formed the Congolese River
So
Alliance.
he aligned himself with the Tutsis.
Not only Tutsis and other, there are more than 17 political parties, civil society organizations, individuals, rebel groups, they joined him.
And what is their main issue with Kinshasa, all these groups? Is it just protection of the mines under their own jurisdiction?
That is also partly correct, to bring some peace, some sort of peace, and to safeguard their own interest.
Right.
Because they were constantly harassed by the central government people and the FDLRs.
Okay.
So, Colonel Nanga said,
The FDLR being the Hutus.
FDLR being
Hutu
the
militia.
Hutu militia. Colonel Nanga, he is on record having said that I have created a monster, it is now my duty to destroy him.
With respect to Felix
With
Tshisekedi.
respect to Sikedi.
Okay.
So, they have started.
So that's his moral war path, so to say.
That is his moral war part. And he was a clean shaved.
Yeah.
I have seen him
Okay.
a number of times.
Okay.
He was a clean shaved man.
Okay.
Now he is white beard and in army fatigue.
Yeah.
And at that time he used to be in business suit always.
Right. He's now in camouflage.
He is now in camouflage with beard,
Right.
white beard and all.
Right.
So this is the situation.
So, sir, just a final note from you. The peace deal to be signed in Washington the deadline is May 2nd. So, any final words, your expectations and your
You see,
predictions, so to say?
no, before I conclude my remarks, I would like to mention one thing, that why the issues which we started today's discussion, for so many years, they were not ready to resolve their differences and make any peace. Why now?
Right.
Okay, why Sikedi government and Rwandese government wanted to have a peace? Now, DR Congo has got a short-term and a long-term goal. Short-term is that, which is important, is that M23 AFC alliance is marching ahead.
Right. And they have gained a lot of.
They have gained a lot.
Almost reaching Burundi also.
They are reaching almost Burundi.
Burundi this side. They had taken Katanga due to international intervention. They came out of Katanga.
That's what I'm saying. So the way the Kinshasa government is losing areas and the
So Kinshasa is in a back foot right now.
is in a back foot, and FRDC forces, soldiers are melting away.
Right.
So there is the short-term goal to have the peace.
Right.
Okay.
Whoever is wherever anybody has reached, you stop there.
Yes, wherever it is.
Don't come
stop.
to Kinshasa.
Don't come to Kinshasa. Okay. Destabilize the whole government. This is the short-term goal. Long-term goal is that they will get, if they can achieve a seal a peace deal, they can develop with mainly US and broadly Western investment in the DR Congo.
This is a long term.
It's a long-term goal. Already there is a tin smelter there, gold refining center there, titanium refinery there. So with their investment, they can develop a lot. This is their long term, and I am very hopeful that if this peace deal goes through, so they will invest. So this is there are two sides. And Rwanda, why Rwanda? Rwandan supported rebels are winning this war. So why they want to have things? Now Rwanda, Paul Kagame is very astute. I have very high regard for him. He is very astute. I have seen when I was High Commissioner in Rwanda, Kigali, Indian High Commissioner there, I have seen that during the initial period when the FRDC, that is the government forces
Of Kinshasa.
of Kinshasa, were being defeated, they are thrown out of Goma. They came almost, they are captured almost captured Goma airport. It is due to the heroic support by the Indian Army. We have got more than 6,000 Indian Army
Under the United Nations.
under the United Nations.
MONUSCO, I think.
MONUSCO. I still remember Captain Chandra Prakash.
Right.
Captain Chandra, Lieutenant General, not Captain, he's a Lieutenant General. I still remember the Force Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Chandra Prakash. I was in, almost regular telephonic contact with him. It is because of our strength, our soldier strength, that Goma airport was saved from the M23.
Right.
And when they were being defeated by the M23, what they started? They started bombing the border areas of Rwanda.
Okay.
The MTLR people and the FRDC people.
Right.
Okay, army people. So there was highly sensitive areas of those areas of that region,
Rwanda DRC border.
Rwanda DRC border, which there were several bomb attacks there. So Rwanda wants to protect that once and for all. And this is the reason they said that the two sides mutually acknowledge each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Right. This is a very important part of the agreement.
This is why Rwandan government, Paul Kagame, as I told you, is a very far-sighted person. He wanted to secure this area once and for all under the supervision of USA.
Right.
This is the thing.
Okay, finally, sir, I'd just like to ask you, let us always be hopeful, which we always are on this podcast. If this peace deal is signed and properly implemented on ground, the peace deal that is to be signed in Washington DC, how do you see the future of the region coming about?
You see, if the peace deal is not only signed, as implemented in the true spirit of the letters of the agreement future agreement. I would expect that there will be, it's May 2nd, the deadline.
Right. Just a few days from
Few
now.
days, I think 2 days more, today's 29th. Very quickly, a peace deal of this magnitude could not be finalized within a couple of days.
Right.
Okay. There will be a draft.
Right.
Then there will be negotiation, renegotiation.
Right.
There will be couple of follow-up meetings.
Right.
Then only it will. But once it is signed, and once the area is stabilized, the whole of Great Lakes region and beyond, that is Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Angola, even South Africa, which is also has a stake in that region, will be benefited from the peace because of unstable condition up there. Rwanda presently is hosting 100,000 DR Congo's refugees.
Right.
They
Uganda
will,
also.
they will be repatriated. Uganda is hosting another few 100,000 DR Congolese refugees there.
There
They
are-
will be returned back.
There are a few million IDPs in DR Congo.
There are a few million IDPs in
Right.
DR Congo within the country,
Right.
internally displaced, and the killings of mutilation of
rapes,
hands, rapes, child labor, drugs,
child soldiers.
child soldiers, not labor, child soldiers,
Yeah.
drugs. These things, this menace could be eliminated once
Right.
for all.
Right.
And DR Congo is the minerally richest country in the whole of Africa. It's
Right.
even richer than South Africa and Botswana
Right.
put together.
Right.
Okay, they are at the tip. And DR Congo is the minerally richest country in the whole of Africa.
Right.
And its rare earths elements are highly required
Right.
by the industries.
Right.
Coltan,
Gold, tin, uranium.
Coltan is used to manufacture semiconductors and,
Mobile phone.
more importantly, chips for the mobile phones.
Right.
And 70% of coltan is mined from DR Congo.
Yeah.
Okay,
What a tremendous region.
that's what I'm
Country in
saying.
the
The
world.
whole region.
Yeah.
There will be, DR Congo has also become the member of the EAC,
Right.
East African Community. So
Right.
the EAC will grow. Whole EAC will grow.
Right. So
Isn't it?
everybody is a gainer from this.
Everybody is the gainer. And
Right.
I have a strong belief that Trump, being what he is, a great deal maker, he
Right.
will make this deal.
Right. Right.
He will make a durable peace deal.
Right. Also in the news is that the Archbishop of Kinshasa is a front runner to become the Pope in Rome. In case that happens, we'll see some more
Yes.
light flowing into DR Congo. Let us hope.
In DR Congo,
And he's a big. The Catholic Church in DR Congo has a big say in the politics.
this is what I was going to
Right,
say.
Right.
This is what I was going to say. Catholic churches, not only in DR Congo, Uganda, Rwanda.
Right.
During the genocide in Rwanda, the Catholic churches, it was the Catholic churches which were the main shelters
Right.
of the Tutsi peoples who are being butchered.
Right.
Okay. In DR Congo also, it is mainly the Catholic churches
Right.
where during these conflicts in the eastern part, people take refuge.
Right.
Okay. So, if he becomes the Pope,
Right.
he will have, if, there's a big if,
Right.
uh,
Then he will definitely give some importance
yes,
to his country.
I would expect that the new peace agreement will take into consideration the political compulsions, economic and social interests of the ethnic minorities in the DR Congo, in their PSD.
Right.
Only if these are taken care of
Sure.
and implemented in the peace deal, then only
Right.
there will be peace.
Right. Right.
Okay.
So sort of a federal system of sorts.
Sort of a federal system. Yes, I agree.
Thank you, sir, for this conversation once again. Taking note from your final message. So as you can see, folks, in case, let us hope, the peace agreement between DR Congo and Rwanda, and of course, as a result, the Congo River Alliance and M23, if this deal goes through, everyone in the region is a gainer. And let us wait and see in the coming few days what comes to pass. Asante Sana, everybody. Asante Sana, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hope you have enjoyed the conversation.
Yes, yes. I hope all our viewers have enjoyed and gained something from this conversation. I'm sure they have. See you in the next episode. Signing off from New Delhi.